Good evening, Sparkle Blends fans. How are you tonight? Alison Heikkila here, and I am going to be doing a fun shaker with you tonight. We are going to do a rustic Christmas theme. All right, so did you guys see my blog post today? This was the card that I shared. And I love this because I used a die that I just left white. Kept it nice and simple because I didn't want that to be the feature. I wanted the sparkle blends to be the feature along with this alcohol ink background that I had done some time ago. You're welcome. You're welcome. Such nice news. So yeah, I think that I used cranberry alcohol ink on this guy. I think. I could be wrong. But I definitely used the, hi Marie Walton, how are you? I definitely used the gilded mixatives with it. And it just adds to the shine of the sparkle blends. And then I had some paper that I don't remember who makes this paper. Amber, you know who makes this paper. I forget who it is, but I like it because it looks watercolored. It's super pretty. And here's a quick secret. Behind this rectangle here, I actually removed all of the excess paper because I really love this pattern and I wanted to use it another time. So I cut it away. I used a bigger rectangle die just so that I had only a thin border so that I could use it again. It's a good way to save it. Also because this paper is double-sided, so I wanted to make sure that I got to use it a lot. But this is with the Holly Berry Sparkle Blend. And take a look at how big these holly leaves are. Now on this, I cut them apart. They actually come connected, but I thought it would be fun to separate them. How's that? Can you see it? I think maybe I should shut my light off. I'm going to shut my light off, guys. Hold on. I hope I can still craft with my main light off, but I think I should be okay. Is that better now? And if you saw my Instagram stories, I shared this stenciled image that I had done with Nouveau glacier paste. I forget the name, but it's definitely gold. And I made a shaker out of it by cutting away the centerpiece with the die that goes with this stamp set. This is from Erin Lee Creative. It's the stamp with the coordinating dies, so I cut that away and put that underneath. I just thought they went together. They don't technically go together. This stencil is from Sweet Sentiment. But I wanted to do kind of a warm-toned card. Not necessarily fall, because this isn't a fall card, but just something that wasn't necessarily holiday. So this is with the Thanksgiving blend, which of course now I'm forgetting the name of it. Hold on, I'm opening up my case. Give Thanks. That's the name of this blend. Give Thanks. I just omitted the turkeys. And I just picked up all the colors that are in the blend with what I colored in the background. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this will be on my blog eventually with all of the information. And this sentiment die is also from Erin Lee Creative. So the stamp, this central die, and this die are Erin Lee Creative. And then this stencil is from Sweet Sentiment. Yay! So, and we're not working on either of these tonight. We're actually doing something completely different. This one is just kind of a general, can do for anything kind of card, whereas this one is perfect for Christmas or other holidays, if you just like this color combo. But we're doing something rustic tonight. We're going to do rustic Christmas. So let me get my basket of tricks, and I will show you what we're doing. Okay. Try to keep this sort of out of the way. All right, so what is rustic Christmas and why am I talking about it tonight? So the reason we're talking about it is because tomorrow starts a new mood board challenge. Now, all of you guys that are here tonight know that we had a mood board challenge for the first time last month, and that was Spooky Skylines. But I'll be honest, I wish more people participated. So I figured that tonight would be a great way for me to inspire, hopefully, some of you to play along. And I'll go into the details a little bit more about what rustic Christmas is, and hopefully you'll participate with us. It's 48 right now. Ooh, that's cold. I was chilly before, and it's like in the 50s, maybe low 60s here when we took the dogs for a walk, but I was like, brr. I had a sweatshirt on and everything. Okay, so tomorrow, October 9th, Amber will be posting the new mood board challenge, and the theme is Rustic Christmas, and you'll get to look at the mood board and kind of get some ideas as to what you can create. And it doesn't have to be a card, it could be something else, but you've got to use your sparkle blends, and we would really love it if you participated with us. So, what is Rustic Christmas? So, when I think of Rustic Christmas, I think of things, obviously, reds and greens, but not so much white, although that does take, there is a part of that is, but a lot of times I think more ivories or creams, neutrals, things like that. And the tones are not necessarily super bright. So like in this card, my tones are super bright. Hey, Fawn's here. How are you? You did? You made a card that matches mine? I can't wait to see it. So this card has a lot of white. It's super bright. It's bold. When I think of Rustic Christmas, I think of more toned down stuff. So I have some stamps here and some dies that I thought that would perhaps give you an idea as to the direction that we're going for this mood board challenge. And again, I really hope you guys play along. So think, branches and trees, perhaps some small animals, birds, bunnies, things like that. Outdoorsy, woodsy things. So in this set here, now most of these are all Stampendous except for this one. Everything else is Stampendous, just because that's what I happen to have for Christmas cards. I have a Christmas one made, but I don't think it's rustic. Well, hopefully, Tara, when you see all of the stuff that we have here tonight, and I go through my card, you'll be able to determine if it's rustic or not. And if it's not, we know that you have the blends to do it. Okay, so more rustic. So you can see the pine cone here, kind of sketchy drawings. I don't think of like super bright, bold, clean lines. I think kind of more scratchy, more hand-drawn kind of stuff. Things like this that are a little bit worn. Think about a cabin. Holidays in a cabin, things like that. This stamp set is perfect, although I don't really think that these colors work for Rustic Christmas. But look, flannel shirts, warm mugs of hot chocolate and coffee, things like that. If you have a campfire or an indoor fireplace, something like that, that's very rustic to me. Again, birds, branches, a little bit of snow. This is super rustic. When you have like old vehicles in it, there's a cabin with the smoke coming out. All of these things kind of speak rustic to me. This twine. Oh, and I have this die set. This we're going to actually be using tonight. So one thing that always makes me think of rustic is like trucks. This is no good. I have to take it out. Okay. So this is a die set from Stampendous. So if you use like an old truck and you put a tree in the back or maybe some gifts, something like that, that also kind of screams rustic to me, especially depending on how you color your truck or what kind of paper you use on it. If you use something that's kind of old and grungy looking, that's very rustic to me. So that's kind of the feel for what we're going to be doing. Oh, you have a house mouse sitting on a branch. That would be perfect for this. That would be perfect. So do we have questions about this so far? I know I'm showing you a lot of products here, but I just want to give you kind of a feel for what I'm going for. Sorry about my arm. I'm going to move my cards away for now. House mouse is perfect for this. Okay. Get this out of here. Pull these out. All right, so I need you guys to take a look at these colors and tell me which one you want me to use. I'm going to explain why in a second. I'm going to move my basket out of the way, I think, after I get my acetate, because we don't want to lose that. Okay. Need my watercolor markers. I'm going to be using my Zig Snipe super fast coloring. I promise it won't be crazy. Yes, plaid for sure. Definitely. Plaid, buffalo plaid. That would be perfect for rustic Christmas. All right, so what I have here is I have a cream colored card base, and then I took a piece of Nina Desert Storm cardstock and I cut a circle out of the center with an Elizabeth Crafts Designs die set. So it leaves this nice stitching detail. Now the reason I have this circle here is because I'm going to be using this embossing folder, and we're going to do a fun trick with it. And this is what I need you to choose one of these colors for. So I need somebody to go down into the comments and let me know which of these colors you want me to use, because we're going to do sort of a letterpress technique on here. It's super easy, it's super fun, and it's a really cool effect. So pick one of these colors. I want to see a couple of comments coming up. You know that there's like a 15-second delay, so I'll wait a couple of seconds before we do that. But we're going to run this through my die cutting machine after I've inked up this embossing folder, and it's going to give us a really cool letterpress technique. And I wanted to have the circle cut out first because obviously if I was going to run this through to cut the circle out after we did the embossing, it would then flatten everything out. Okay? So, yeah, Amber, you definitely need to use embossing folders. You should, because I know that you have plenty. Meanwhile, we are going to stamp this candle out. I'm going to quickly fussy cut. What blend am I using? Oh, sorry, I should have mentioned that. That's a good question, Marie. We're going to be using Rustic Rudolph because this is the Rustic Christmas card that we're going to be doing tonight for our new mood board. So this is the blend. Tara says festive berries. Amber says walnut and festive berries. EK is in the house. Hello. Fawn says one of the browns. Uh-oh, we might need a tiebreaker. It seems like nobody wants me to use mowed lawn, which is okay. I didn't really think that I wanted to use mowed lawn. Also known as too many embossing folders. I believe that. I went through my embossing folder bin before and I was like, wow, I have so many and I forgot all about them. My problem is that I have them in the back of a drawer. And that's really not the best place for me to keep them because, you know, then I forget that they're there and I don't use them. So I'm going to need to find a new home for them. I might need to put them with my stencils. I have a whole drawer for just my stencils, my Mylar stencils. And I think that I'm going to need to do that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just pulling off this candle stamp. I'm going to get an acrylic block, if I can grab one. Okay. So I have, is that going to fit? We have an acrylic block here. Your challenge to everybody watching is to make a rustic card with the merry and bright holiday rainbow blend. That is definitely a challenge. I kept it a little easier for myself today. Amber, are you keeping tabs on which color I'm going to be using? I kind of lost track, but it seems like mowed lawn is not going to be the winner. We'll see what happens. And I think I'm only going to do one color. I'd like to do only one color because this card is going to be pretty symmetrical. Well, I guess I could do top to bottom. Whatever. You can let me know. And if you pick the ones that you said, then that's okay too. Alright, so I'm just inking this guy up. I'm using smooth Bristol cardstock, which is a favorite of mine. I want to make sure that I put it in a spot that's not messed up. We're going to be fussy cutting this out, but this is a super quick thing to fussy cut, so don't worry. I will not bore you with lots of fussy cutting. I just want to get this guy colored for you. Any other votes on which color I'm going to use for the embossing folder? Anybody? Festive Berries is winning at the moment. Alright, I'm good with that. I was actually figuring we were probably going to wind up with a red. I lost my other stamp. Here it is. This is just the top. So what's cool about this stamp set is that you don't have to put the candle in the top. You can, hold on, I need to concentrate. There are flowers and stuff that you could put in the top too. See? They're not really flowers. They're berries and foliage and pine cones, but it's fun. So that's why the candle top is separate from the base, because it doesn't have to be a candle, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, I'm putting away my stamp chamois. Alrighty. And I will zoom in when I start coloring. I'm just putting my stamp away because I will wind up losing this little piece for sure. Okay. That goes back in the bin. Cleaning up. Alright. Festive Berries. Alright, we're going to do Festive Berries. So before I start to color this, I want to ink up my embossing folder so that that gets done and it dries completely. So this is really cool. Has anybody done this before? I like doing this. So this side is the one with the raised texture. This side has the debossed texture. So I want to do the raised one. Although I will tell you, if you do the debossed side, it looks awesome as well because you're getting a lot more. Take a look at the way this is. All of this in between the dots would be filled with ink and it would look amazing. But for this particular card, I don't really want to do that. I want to just get the embossed image. I will tell you, this might work better with a die. I mean, I might want to do a practice run on this, guys, because I don't really like how this is pooling up on here. I might want to do a quick practice run so that we don't ruin the card. Let me see how this looks. I'm going to just take this gray piece of paper and just run it through and see how it looks. And then we can decide if we like it. You know what I did? I didn't take out the right plate. Hold on. I have different embossing plates. Not embossing plates. Plates for my die cutting machine, and I pulled out the wrong one. Nope. Okay. Okay, I'm coming back. So, you know how there's like a magnetic die plate and then there's one that's not and it has the different tabs? Yeah, see, this is super inky. I'm not loving that. Oh, you know what? This is the right side. We're going to ink up this side. Look at that. Let me show you again. So I inked the wrong side. This is the side that we want, but look at how pretty that is. We're going to do it again. I'm going to wash this off. So anyway, I have a, for my die cut machine, one of my plates has tabs and one of them has magnetic, like a magnetic base. So I just popped off a nail. I did my nails for you guys and now I lost one. Oh well. I hope you forgive me. Okay. Let's try this again. Anyway, I just forgot to pull out the correct plate. So let me get these out of the way. So we're going to do this side. It'll just wind up being all embossed, which is fine with color. But experiment with your different inks. It's going to look pretty no matter what. So we're going to just flip this guy down like so. I'm going to make sure that it's lined up pretty well. Bring it up a little bit. There we go. See that? Okay. I'm going to run this through my machine. I need to change my plates. It's been so long since I changed my plates. Guys, look at that. How cool is that? Now, I didn't really want to have the color over the whole thing, but that's just the way this plate is. I think what I want to do is wipe it a little bit. See how that... Nope, it's pretty dry already. That's okay. Let's go like this. We're going to spray this with just a touch of water since we're using distress inks. And if you run through a thick piece of cardstock, you might want to wet it first, no matter which ink you're using, just because it will help break the fibers up a little bit so that you don't get cracking. Sometimes if you do like 110 pound with an embossing folder, you'll hear like the paper cracking and then you'll see it. If you wet it first, that won't really happen. But with this, we didn't really need to, because this is just an 80 pound. Okay, did I miss anything with the comments? No, I don't think I did. I think I'm good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move these inks out of the way. And now I'm going to zoom us in, and we're going to color this little candle. Again, this is from Stampendous, and I'm working on smooth Bristol cardstock, and I'm going to work with my zigs. We're going to start out with Brick Beige. This is a great color for birch. And I'm not doing anything crazy here, guys. This is going to be super quick. We're just going to get some shading in, and we'll have that candle glowing, color in the holly, and then cut it out. I used to have a birch tree in front of my house growing up. It was so pretty, but it got sick, and it had to get taken down. I was really sad because it was such a pretty tree. I used to like to sit in it. See, this is super fast. It's just one color. And what I'm going to do is go in with a bit of a darker tone. I'm going to take mid-gray and just kind of darken this up, because you know when the candle is lit, that pooling melted wax is darker, right? So we're just darkening that up. This is super fast. Okay, and then we'll do the berries and the leaves. I have green. I see that we have a bunch of new folks here. How's it going, everybody? We're doing a rustic Christmas card tonight because starting tomorrow in the Sparkle Blends fan club, we are going to be doing a mood board challenge, and the theme is Rustic Christmas. And Amber and I thought that it would be fun to give you guys a little bit of inspiration so that you can play along with us. I really hope that you do. We did our first mood board challenge last month, and that was Spooky Skylines, and I would really love to see even more participants this time around. Hey, Cindy Allen, how's it going? We're doing a rustic Christmas card today. So you missed a little bit, some of the beginning, but you can always go back and watch the replay. We never delete our replays. We'll keep them up for you. I'm just picking out a red right now for my berries. I have carmine red here. And we're just coloring those berries really quickly. I'm going to pull out, I think, wine red, just to deepen it a little bit. There's wine red. Just like that. And then we'll get that candle glowing. Okay, and then we'll cut it out and make our shaker. So what have you guys been up to lately? Any questions so far? Questions about the mood board challenge? I'd like to mention that there are a few of the October bundles left. Not a whole lot. And then there's also, hold on, I have notes. 2 of the September bundles and 5 of the August bundles. So if you'd like to get a bundle and save a couple of bucks, grab one of those quickly before they're gone. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this yellow. Ooh, your nails have sugar skulls on them, Cindy Allen? That must look awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to take some water and just blend out that glow a little bit. Just water on my brush. There we go. That's good. See, super quick. You're funny, Cindy Ellen. I did mine tonight just for the live, and I put on 2 fake gold ones, and one of them popped off. Such is life. That's okay. But I tried. I tried to be fancy for you guys. I'm just putting away my markers, and then we're going to cut this out really quick, and then we'll make our card. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Thanks, Fawn. She said my candle looks awesome. Now, if I were just leaving it, like, not fussy cutting, I would definitely put a shadow underneath here. But since we're going to cut it out, I'm going to do a loose fussy cut. I'm not going to make it super tight. just because it's a little faster to do a loose fussy cut, and then I don't have to worry about getting into all of the crevices and making it perfect. So have you guys started making holiday cards yet? Do you typically make holiday cards, or do you always do you buy them? Thank you, Cindy Allen. She likes my candle. I'll show the set again that I got this from later on. And we're going to just do around the glow, just like that. And again, this is smooth Bristol paper. This is from Strathmore. The Canson one is also good. But this is my favorite paper to use for my zigs. I use this and Canson's mixed media cardstock. I like both of those very much for my zigs. Okay. It is easy to color the candle, right? Oh, Marie's making them all year. See, I don't. Sometimes I do make like one or two here and there, but I don't focus on that. Look at how pretty this is. Now that is Rustic Christmas, right? Okay, so now we've got our new sparkle blend. Rustic Rudolph is what we're using here. And I think that we need a paper behind here. What do you guys think? You guys know that I love putting patterns behind. So let's see what we have. Oh, this is the pad that I used on my card from before. Craft Consortium. So I can show that before. Marie Walton has not started yet. Let's see. This is the paper. Isn't that gorgeous? Ugh. But it's double-sided and it's fabulous. Let's see. It's a little too busy, I think, for this. What do you guys think? I think that this is a little too white. I tried to keep it a little bit more muted. Yeah, these are too white. Let's see. That wood grain is kind of fun. I don't know. I'm not feeling these for that. Let's see. This is a really old pad. This is from Doodlebug. Seriously old. Somebody had given this to me several years ago. And I love it. I use it as sparingly as possible because I really like it. I kind of like that stripe. The houndstooth is fun. All right. Oh, there's wood grain. Hold on. Look at that houndstooth. I think we're going with that. Tara has made a few. I made a few also. You know, back in July, I had made a bunch because Amber had come out with her Christmas in July blends. What do we think? Do we want wood grain or do we want houndstooth? I'm a houndstooth fanatic, but I feel like the wood grain is going to be better for this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll start building this. All right, so I have my foam tape. This is from Pear Blossom Press. And I have my acetate, which I need to put on here first. Let's do that. I've got some acetate. So this acetate, this is super thick. You hear how thick that is? This is actually from my gel press. This is the acetate that they come with. You're supposed to throw them out because you're not supposed to store it on your gel press because it could create bubbles and then you would have a messed up gel press. So you're supposed to just get rid of them. But, you know, me making shaker cards all the time, I said, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to use them. Wood grain. Wood grain. Okay, you guys got it. Wood grain. I completely agree. I think that in this case, houndstooth is not the answer. Although I will say that that's my favorite pattern. I love chevrons too, but houndstooth is my jam. I have so much houndstooth fabric, and I haven't made anything with it. I really need to do that. Anyway, so I use the acetate from the gel press that you're supposed to throw out because A, it's upcycling, and B, I don't like throwing stuff like that away. C, it works like a charm. Okay, so that was with zip dry glue. Okay. There we go. That's all nice and glued on there. This is going to look fabulous. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to just cut out my wood grain here. Make it about the size that the acetate is. I find that it's really great to, and I think I said this last week. Marie, am I supposed to take that acetate off? Yes. If you're working with a gel press, you definitely want to take off that acetate. Take it off. We'll have to have a conversation about gel presses. I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was saying. It's gone. I lost it. So that's going to go on here. Oh, I remember now. I like to always back my shakers. Whether or not it's the same cardstock as my card base, I like to back it because if I need to walk away, which inevitably happens more often than not, at least I know my shaker is sealed and not, you know, potentially spilling all over the place because the cat jumped on my desk or the kids accidentally touched it or something like that. So I like to seal off my shakers as soon as possible so that I don't have to worry about it. So I am cutting this down. You see how easy it is to cut this foam tape down? I love this foam tape. I really do. I say it all the time, but it's true. And make sure that you seal it off really well. We're going to add some more to it too in the corners. So I'm going to take this little piece here and I'm going to cut it in half so I have a square. And then I'm going to cut it into triangles like this. That's right. She has windows for shakers now, and I'm going to just stick it in here. I like to do this when I have a square of foam, because it keeps my shaker bits more into the window itself and not behind it. You want to see those shakers, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this guy here, bring it up a little bit. I like to get it as close to my window as possible. So again, so that we're not losing all of our shaker bits behind it. Okay. Put this on here. I have a little square right here that I'm going to just cut down in half again, across, so that I can put it into these two corners. And I'm building this really quick, guys. If I was just, you know, doing this on my own without 50 people watching, I would take a little bit more time to make it neater. Not because anybody's going to see it, but just because I want to make sure that everything is really sealed. But that's another thing. Like, if I felt like this wasn't sealed enough, this is going to help seal it off. Okay, I'm cutting a little bit more of this. Thanks for putting up that link, Amber. Okay, almost done with that. Put a little bit more right here, just so that it's nice and supported. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my window and only remove this portion of the foam tape, because then I'm going to slap this bad boy on here, and then I can take the rest of the foam tape off and glue it down. I think I want to put a little bit more here and here really quick, but that'll just take a moment. And I'm going to even cut it in half so that it's skinnier. Look at how nicely this cuts. Isn't that cool? It's very hard to find foam tape that does that. Okay, so we're going to put this here, just like that. Put this here, just like that. And we have our shaker panel built. So now, again, let's do a close-up of this. We haven't really talked about the sparkle blend too much. So this is the Rustic Rudolph Sparkle Blend. And you can see here that you've got all these little reindeer in here. There's the silver one, There are some brown ones. There are some translucent brown ones that are so cool. Of course, there are these little that are red to be Rudolph's nose. And then the rest of the blend is filled with red, opalescent white, greens, some satin blacks, and it's just beautiful. Isn't that pretty? I love that. And there's little squares in there. Those spirals that I love, I think, are in here. Are there spirals in here? Yep, red spirals. Right there. See that? Isn't that pretty? That's right. If you are new or you haven't been able to see the new release, please make sure that you let me know in the comments that you'd like to see something specific, whether it's from the new release or from something a little older. If there's a color that you like, if you want to see Halloween, just let me know and I will show it to you at the end. So I'm just adding a bunch of sequins in here. I lost a caviar bead. Get that back in there. So I think we'll put a couple of the reindeer in. What do you guys think? Put a couple in there. I think we'll go with one of the browns that are metallic, one of the translucent ones. We'll put another metallic one in too, just because. We've got the room, right? Okay. How's that looking? I think that I want to add a little bit more red. I think I do. A little bit more red than what might be in the blend, because I want those berries that I used on my holly to really pop. So, and I don't like to deplete my blends too early in the month because I want to make sure that I can show them to you. So I'm pulling out Ladybug right now. This is some of Ladybug, and I'm going to just pop in some of the red from Ladybug. Again, I don't like to deplete my sparkle blends too early in the month because we do these lives every single Thursday, and I want to make sure that you guys can see the blends well. So I'm going to just add some extra red in here from an older blend, just so that we have a little bit more color in here. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. And you guys can do this too. If you feel like you need to bulk up on a certain color, just mix your blends. I love doing that. I do it all the time. Not because there's anything wrong with the original blend, but just because you're looking to highlight a certain color or a style or something like that. So with this, I thought it would be nice to just add a little bit more red. Okay. Now this is the tricky part, right? Because we have to make sure that we don't pop our blends out of the center. And I have done that so often. I'm just taking my time. I'm going to make sure that this is not, there we go. So I'm going to just pop this on here, make sure my Rudolphs are good. I think we're okay. And then I'm going to seal it. Yeah, it's good to mix up the blends, right? It's fun, because then you're kind of creating it yourself, too. You take the fantastic product that Amber has already made, and you're making it your own, which is always fun. You know, that's what you're doing with the stamps and things like that, right? So the other point that I wanted to make tonight is that you don't always have to just do stamping on cards. The cards that I showed you in the beginning, and I'll make sure that I pull them out again, because I know that a lot of you got here late, which is okay. I'm happy that you're here at all. There's so many other things that you can do. So on this card tonight, if you weren't here, we did like a letter press technique when we used an embossing folder and we applied some distress ink to the embossing folder so that it gave us a really cool effect. Okay, so now, and then I have two other cards that I can show you what I did with also. Oh, I have to put some glue on here. Always make sure you add some extra glue in the middle. Okay. Just using my ATG gun just to add some more adhesive. Okay. And now we're going to put this on here. Just like so. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to put this guy right here. What do you think? Maybe on this side. I think I like that side better. right? I think so. Christmas frogs. What? I missed something. Take out all the frogs. Oh, yes, if you're using a blend that might have a creature in it, because there are a bunch of blends that have creatures, if it doesn't work with the card that you're working on, make sure you pull those little critters out, right? How's that? I feel like we need like a Mary. What do you think? I can do that really fast. So, okay. This is so pretty. How's that looking? I love it with the wood grain. That worked out really well. It's a fun combination of techniques. So you have a stamped image, you have an embossing folder that you've inked, so you have a letterpress technique, and then you have, you know, the die cut window, and it's a shaker, and there's just so much going on, but it's not overbearing, and it's definitely rustic. Okay, so I am getting out, this is the die set that I was showing before. This is from Stampendous, and it's got this great truck in it that's like the showcase piece, and then it has a tree, it has a pumpkin, you can cut out a gift. It even comes with a stencil so that you can ink up a background, which is a lot of fun. So I think that we're going to do this because I think it's necessary, right? Let's get some green cardstock. I'm getting some green. I'm going to try to not knock over my sparkle seriously underneath my green bin of cardstock. Here we go. I think that that'll work. Okay, I'm getting my little die cut machine. Does anybody have requests as to what sparkle blends you'd like me to show at the end? I would be happy to do that for you. Especially if you're new here and you haven't seen them before. You can let me know if you want to see the brand new blends that came out this month, or if you want to see Halloween, or anything else. Of course, this isn't going to go through. I'm just die cutting the Merry and the Christmas. Sorry that my table is bouncing. Thanks, Annie. Yeah, it's a fun little technique and it's super fast to do. Okay, let me get this out of the way, and then we'll adhere all of that together. Okay. I just want to carefully remove this. It's a little delicate. Just a little delicate. Okay. And I'm rushing because I don't want to make you guys watch me do something like this. I want you to see me building the card. So I'm trying to do it quickly, but I'm also trying to not rip anything. Tara says, yes, new ones. Tara ordered hers. She's waiting on the mailman or the postal service, postal carrier. Hopefully you'll get them soon. I hope you do. Okay, I'm just poking out the centers of the R. Okay, and then I have another one here. Whoops. And what I could have done to make my life a little easier is put double-sided adhesive tape on the back beforehand that, you know, has a tear-away paper so that I didn't have to mess around with it after, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay. So now I'm going to get my on-point glue. You don't need a whole lot of this, and you want to be careful that you don't overdo it because you don't want it to seep out from underneath and get onto your card where you can see it. I mean, it does dry clear, but there is sometimes a bit of a sheen to it. Get my acrylic block, pop that on there just to help it dry nice and flat. And now I'm going to just put some adhesive on here. Does anybody have any questions so far? Who's going to play along with the mood board challenge? Cindy Ellen, are you going to play along? Tara? Marie 1 or Marie 2? I hope so. I get really inspired to see what you guys make. And you're all so talented. And also, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had mentioned on one of my lives last month that I would really love to case one of you. So, if you pop cards, and it doesn't have to be for the Rustic Christmas mood board, but if you pop cards into the Sparkle Blends fan club, then I might just case you, and oh good, Marie Walton's going to play. And then I'll make your card during a live, with your permission, of course. I would definitely ask before I did that. Okay, so that's just drying for a second. I'm just putting my dies away so that I don't lose them. Any questions so far? Questions at all? I think that we're going to need to do something to this to make it shine a little bit. What do you guys think? Just a little bit. Need to make it sparkle. Even though it's rustic, I think it needs to sparkle. Because, you know, we're using Sparkle Blends anyway, right? So I have a sparkle marker from Spectrum Noir. Pat a towel on it to remove some of the glue. Yeah, you could totally do that. Oh, good. Cindy Ellen is going to play. Excellent. So I'm going to just add, this guy is losing its juice. I don't want to squeeze it because I know that I will make a total mess all over my card if I squeeze it on that. Because that's what always happens. I'm squeezing it on some scrap paper. Okay. Let's get that on there. There we go. That's a little bit better. You could even do something like stickles on here, or you could take like a white pen, like a gel pen, and do that. I just wanted to have a little bit more sparkle. That's so pretty. Can you see the shimmer? That's fun, right? Oh, Marie, that's so sweet. She said, what an honor that would be to be cased by me. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate that. But I think that that would be a fun challenge because, you know, sometimes it's hard to come up with new ideas to show you guys all the time. And I always want to make it exciting. And I think that casing one of you would be a lot of fun. So my friends, what do you think of this card? We made that super fast. Right? Okay, I'm going to put away my markers. And I'm going to put away the Rustic Rudolph blend because you've gotten a good look at that. And I'm going to grab my case. I'll grab the cards I was showing you before. And I'll point out the techniques that I did because, again, I want you guys to be able to look at your supplies and really use the stuff that you don't use very often. You know, Amber said before that she hasn't touched her embossing folders in who knows how long. I know I haven't touched mine in a long time either. So if you pull out some of those things that you haven't used in a while, you know, what a fun way to reinvigorate yourself with, you know, the things that you have at home instead of buying everything that's new. So for this I used a stencil and I used glacier paste from Nuvo, and then I die cut from a completely different company the center out with the coordinating stamp, and then I put a die cut down here from the same company. This is Erin Lee Creative, and then this stencil is from Sweet Sentiment, and this is with the Thanksgiving blend called Give Thanks. Isn't that pretty? I just didn't put the turkeys in. Like Cindy Ellen was saying before, you know, you gotta keep those frogs out. So I kept the turkeys out of this one. But this isn't for Thanksgiving. This is just, you are incredible. It's just a nice, encouraging card. And then, for this one, I went traditional Christmas. This is with Holly Berry. And I have an alcohol ink background topped with a white die cut from Poppy Stamps with a watercolor paper background that was printed. That was what I was showing you before. And, okay. Oops, what? Did I miss something? I'm not sure. I might have missed something. Okay. So I'm going to put this at the bottom because we showed you that before. I think I definitely missed something because there's an oops and people laughing. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to show you right now is Silver Bells. This is mostly silver with a little bit of white. And look at this. Look at how big this is. That is a huge caviar bead. There's no hole. It's just huge. Hollyberry is your favorite Yankee candle scent. I love that one too. Oh, Doodles accidentally clicked on something. No worries. Okay. So this is Silver Bells. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look at how that sparkles. Actually, I'm going to put some of it back so that I can separate out for you a little bit of what's in here, because it's a little tough to see when I have the entire blend in here. Okay, so first we're going to start with this because we need to. And I'm sorry that my hands are all red and look scary. It's from the Festive Berries ink that we used on the card tonight on the embossing folder. So you can't have a blend called Silver Bells without having silver bells in it, right? So here's our silver bell, and we have these gorgeous dimensional stars, which I totally love. And then, pokey tool, we have, I love these. You guys know I love these. I love the dots. So subtle, but so impactful. And then we have smaller stars, lots of opalescent white in here. Oh, there's a holographic bell too. Look at that. Isn't that gorge? Love it. Oh, and for those of you wondering, the Heikkila family, my family, has not had their monthly crafting time yet because we just haven't had a chance to. School's been pretty hectic. So we're hoping to do that maybe this weekend, and then we'll have cards to show you soon. Because I know that some of you look forward to seeing what my husband and my kids create. So that'll be coming up soon. There are snowflakes in here that are made of clay. My cat is snoring, so I apologize if you hear him. There's a silver square, glitter sequence, which I'm crazy about. It's just pretty, fun, neutral. I would love to see this on just a winter card. It doesn't need to be a Christmas card or a holiday card. It could just be winter. You can also make this for weddings. If it's not a winter wedding, you can just pull out the snowflakes and it would still work. For somebody that's having a silver anniversary, it would be perfect for that too, right? The next one is my favorite from this release. This is Merry and Bright. And that is exactly what it is. It is happiness with presents. So you've got these ginormous presents in different colors. Here's a gold one, here's a purple one, there's a green one hiding here. Then you have these little bitty clay presents. There's one right there. And then you have these hats, right? Like a ski cap, like a knit ski cap. And then you have peppermints and snowflakes in many colors, not just white. Hot pink, yellow, blue. I mean, how much fun is that? Lavender. This is happiness. As I said last week, this would be a perfect blend for a winter baby, for a birthday card. So somebody like me, my birthday's in January, this would be perfect for a birthday card for me because you've got the presents, you've got the snowflakes, it's bright, it's happy, and I am totally going to make a birthday card with this blend. So you don't need to just use this for holiday cards. It's great for lots of things. And if you don't want to use it for winter babies or birthdays, just pull out the presents, pull out the snowflakes. These peppermints are just fun. They don't have to actually be peppermints, right? So that's Merry and Bright. Yes, Amber mentioned that we're going to do a room next week. We're not doing a regular live like we are tonight. So if you are not a member of the Sparkle Blends fan club, make sure you join because that's where we'll be. And you guys can come on camera with us. You can ask us all sorts of questions. Maybe ask Amber where she gets her inspiration. Whatever you want, you know? And we'll just hang out and chat. We'll probably start that at 7. And you can pop in and out. You don't have to stay the whole time. But it would just be lovely to chat with all of you in a way that, you know, we can all see you and answer questions and things like that that are not necessarily pertaining to a specific project that I'm working on at the time. So I hope that you will join us for a room next week. So this is Give Thanks. This is the blend that I used in this card here. Pull that out again. And It was made for Thanksgiving, but again, you don't need to use it for Thanksgiving. My husband is very excited because that's his favorite holiday, and he definitely loves these turkeys. Look at how big that turkey is. Isn't it so cute? Amber just popped the link up in the bottom so that you can join the Sparkle Blends fan club if you haven't joined yet. There's lots of fun ideas there all the time, so I hope you'll join us. So, what do we have in here besides turkeys? We have these fantastic brown spirals. We have gorgeous satin burgundy sequins. I love this color. It's so rich and yummy. You have these flowers that are concave and convex, depending on how you flip them over. I love these. These are warm and pretty. They're very similar to the sequence that's in the Nebula Sparkle Blend, but the colors are a little bit different, and this is a typical sequin, as opposed to the ones in Nebula that are a flat sequin. This is cup shape. And look at this yellow, you guys. I am not a yellow person, but this is like the most rich, buttery yellow ever. It's just warm, and I love it. So pretty. So this is Give Thanks. This is a great fall blend. This is a great blend if you just want to have neutral colors. There's some orange in here. See that? There's satin orange. There's a metallic orange. It's just beautiful. Some cream. So pretty. So this is a great, great blend. And again, this card is not Thanksgiving. It's just a you are incredible kind of encouragement card. And you can change out this sentiment to be anything. It could be a birthday card, you know? So this is just a really nice blend that has a richness to it that I really like. Okay. Next is Hollyberry. And this is what I used on my other card that I was showing you before. Okay. So that's on this card. So you can see here, I cut the hollies apart. When you get the blend home, the holly leaves are actually going to be connected. And all you need to do, if you want to, you don't need to. I just wanted to on that particular card. You just cut it right down the middle. And that's it. Just a quick snip. And you're done. But again, you can leave it full. Hollyberry is pure green and pure red. That's it. Nothing else. There's no metallics in here. No silver, no gold. It's just green and red. And just like in the Rustic Rudolph blend, you have the same red caviar beads that represent Rudolph's nose in Rustic Rudolph. In this, it's the berries. Isn't that cool? So again, if you feel like you need more berries, you can grab Rustic Rudolph and take some of those, or vice versa, which is so fun. So there's a ton of the holly leaves in here. You can see that there's lots of red glitter, more spirals. Look at that. Different ones too. So this is like a deep forest green, whereas this is a brighter holographic green. So fun. Some of these are translucent, some of them are opalescent. Look at the pattern on this one. And this is on both sides. I'm going to flip it over for you if it doesn't jump away. See that? It's on both sides. So you don't need to worry about which way it lands in your shaker. It's going to be beautiful no matter what. Some squares, some red gems. Look at how vibrant that red is. Isn't it beautiful? So this is Hollyberry. Got just a couple more to show, and then I'm going to say goodnight. And I really do hope that you guys not only join us for the room next week, but that you play with the new doing tomorrow, which is, again, Rustic Christmas. Okay, this is Frosted Gingerbread. I love this. Look at these guys. They're so cute. Little tiny gingerbread men. And then you have even tinier gingerbread men. You see how little he is? Look at how tiny. So adorable. And then you have these glorious cupcakes that are just so happy. More of these pinwheels, like the peppermint candies. Just like the ones that are in Merry and Bright, but this is a neutral. And then you have opalescent white for your frosting. Lots of browns and creams for your gingerbread. Isn't that pretty? I love this. I love all of Amber's brown blends. This one has a lot more white in it than her browns usually do, because often she does like a coffee mix. She had a gingerbread man blend last year. So this one has a little bit more white, but it's just delightful. And it's super yummy. How cute would it be to have these little gingerbread men just lined up to make like a little fence with a house behind it or something? Wouldn't that be cute? Yeah, and Cindy Ellen, if you want to craft next week during the room, you sure can. That would be great. I'll probably have something to color while we have the room. I think it's fun to do those, and it's been a while since we've done one of those, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, the next one, oops, is Minter is coming. Dun, dun, dun. Minter is coming. I felt it in the air today, and I said, no, I don't want it to be cold yet. Okay, I lost my pokey tool. There it is. Marie B is crafting right now. Good. Yeah, I understand deadlines. Believe you me. I have a lot. I did get my blog post for tomorrow ready, though, so that's a step in the right direction. So, first of all, we've got to point this one out. This is a metallic candy cane, which I'm crazy about. It's so cute. Cindy Ellen's almost asleep. Well, I hope I'm keeping you up. I hope I'm not boring you. I'm glad that you're here. And then we have clay candy canes. And then we have clay peppermints. But these are different from the ones that are in the other blends because this has 3 colors as opposed to just 2. So this has red, pink, and white. And then lots and lots of white. I love this one. Check this out. Whoops. They're jumping on me. See that guy? I love that texture. So pretty. And then you have some flat whites. Like this tube is flat white. There's some stars that are flat white. But a lot of it's opalescent too, which is pretty. But some of them have more of a gold tone to it rather than a pink one. So you can see here that these look really kind of pink and with flashes of green. This has flashes of gold in it. See the difference? Love that. I'm sorry you're tired. I'm tired too. But I enjoy having these Thursdays with you guys. I really do. It's a lot of fun for me. Okay. So that is Minter is coming. Whoops. One more to show you. This is Beth's favorite. This is Unicorn Chill. Now, first of all right, let's start with this. Do you guys remember Shake the Rainbow? That blend sold out super fast. But the hearts are back. Look at the size of those hearts. Aren't they fabulous? And they're not flat on either side. They're rounded. Look at that. It's so cool. I love them. Look at how fat that is. Isn't that fantastic? Tara has to do a voiceover tomorrow. Yeah. I hear ya. All right, so now we have, just like in Frosted Gingerbread, you had the big gingerbread men and the teeny ones. So here we have the big unicorns and the teeny ones. Look at how little. So cute, right? And then you have these open hearts. Can you see that right here where my pointer is? It's an open heart. Love that. Then you have these unicorns. Let me pull that out so that you can see it a little bit better. There are a few different colors in this with these unicorns. Here's another one. This one is blue. This one is pink. Look at that. Look at the flashes of color. Isn't that pretty? Those are so exciting. And then it's pink, it's blue, it's white, it's opalescent. I love these clear ones here because they look like nothing. I'm going to put it on my hand. I know I keep bringing things up and down. I'm sorry about that, but I get excited. So it looks like there's nothing happening, right? And then you catch the light right, and it's like, boom, flashes of color. Isn't that awesome? I love that. It's so silly. These are some of my favorite ones, and there's nothing to them until the light hits it right, and it's like magic. That's why I like it, because it's unexpected. And then you have confetti. You have caviar beads that are translucent. Can you see them right here? These are great because they help your shaker shake around more. They help create movement in there. They break everything up. And then there's snowflakes. And it's gorgeous. I mean, what little kid wouldn't like this? Seriously. My kids would have been all over this blend when they were younger. Although I have to say, they love it now, too. That's how you are with broken glass. Yeah, me too. I love broken glass. Oh, you've been looking forward to this all day? Thank you, Marie. That's so sweet. I have been too. It's been fun. So that's all of the new blends, my friends. that is all of them. I hope that this helped you guys. I hope that you go into your craft space, whether it's in your dining room or you have a studio or whatever, and I hope that you look through your things and say, how can I make this into a shaker? Or how can I use my sparkle blends with this? Because it's just fun. I had forgotten all about this embossing folder. Like, completely forgot about it. And I could have just embossed it. But using this letterpress technique just kicks it up a notch. Simple stamp, coloring in, that wasn't even 5 minutes. And then a little die for the sentiment. And of course, this glorious sparkle blend. Rustic Rudolph. That's right, what old little kid doesn't love this? I agree. Only 9 broken glass left. Uh-oh. I might need to get another one of those. I use it a lot. Sparingly, but I use it. Give Thanks is in this one, with a stencil that I used embossing paste with. Look at how that flashes. Isn't that pretty? And then, I want to try to make hot chocolate bombs. The minter is coming would make the perfect shaker tag to gift with it. Oh, I love that. I only heard of these hot chocolate bombs literally today. And since then, I've seen 4 people mention it. I had never heard of this before. It's like a bath bomb, but it's hot chocolate. That's crazy to me. And delicious. I love hot chocolate. I like to get the my sister's mother-in-law makes hot chocolate, so it's spicy. It has cayenne in it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. Marie says broken glass is her favorite. I hear ya. It's beautiful. And it's just clear. And I'm such a color girl. But man, it's just so pretty. So this is Holly Berry again. Any questions, my friends? Any at all? Don't forget, we're not going to be on this page next week. We're going to be in the Sparkle Blend fan club. Probably going to start that at 7. And you guys will have a couple hours to pop in and out as you wish. Come with questions. Come with your own projects. We'd love to see what you're making. And then we'll get back to making stuff together in 2 weeks. What is a hot chocolate bomb? So you know what a bath bomb is, right? It's like a big ball that you throw into the water and then it like kind of fizzes out and explodes and makes your bath all fun. This is chocolate. And I don't know what's in it or whatever, but you pour hot water on it when it's in your mug and it kind of just melts and it creates hot chocolate. It's just fancy. Sounds like fun, right? I think it's fun. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you learned something. I hope you had a good time. I really look forward to the room next week. Please make sure that you go to the Sparkle Blends fan club tomorrow to see the Rustic Christmas mood board. And then make sure you play along. I want to see what you guys make. And then maybe I'll case you, which would be like so much fun for me, for sure. All right, my friends, have a fantastic evening. Stay safe, be well, and I will catch you all next week in the Sparkle Blends fan club. Have a great night, everybody.